So we're inherently a memeable group.
What's up, you guys? You guys know that I love Riverdale, and I'm excited because I just got to interview the whole cast here at the Paley Center. Take a look at what they had to say.
So how does it feel to be a part of the CW family?
You know, amazing. It's when I first talked to Greg about the show, Greg Berlanti, and when I first talked to Warner Brothers, the network that we wanted to be on was the CW. I think because they have such a, first of all, they do comic book shows, and this was a comic book show, and they've done some of really great teen coming of age shows. And they had a history, Gossip Girl, Dawson's Creek, of course. So it's exactly where we all wanted the show to be, and Warner Brothers and CW have been amazing partners, and you know, I've worked on a lot of shows when executives and networks don't necessarily get the show, but everyone who's working on it so believes in it and is so invested, and they all love the characters. So it's been a dream.
So on Riverdale, we've slowly started to kind of break through Jughead's walls, I feel like, a little bit, especially with the last couple episodes. Are we going to see that more of him opening up? Is he going to be kind of reserved?
Yeah, the end of episode 11, this episode tonight, you see him sort of break down a little bit, but it's kind of a reserved rage, wrathful breakdown. As oftentimes trauma comes through immediately for men as a kind of wrath. But then episode 12, you really see some sad, heart-wrenching moments for Jughead. Especially there's a scene with his father where he's sort of expressing his betrayal or his feeling of betrayal, which is intense.
I feel like I need more of you on the show. Are we going to get more of you towards the end of this season and next season?
Yes, there's a really good story coming up with Kevin this season, and there will be more next season, absolutely. There's a couple of really great stories coming up that the writing team is working on right now, and they've filled me in on that I'm really excited about for season 2.
The characters I definitely want to see more of on the show, because we started to get to learn about you, and then we haven't really seen you much, so are we going to get more of Josie on the show?
Yes, come season 2, yes, there's going to be a lot more Josie, a lot more immersion between her and the other characters, a lot built out of her relationship with Cheryl and Veronica, maybe a love interest.
Because she's so sassy, I feel like she can go toe-to-toe with all of them. I want to see her do that.
Absolutely, like with no hesitation at all. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
And what is one thing you want for Jughead in season 2?
One thing I want, a dog.
I think I heard you're getting one.
One wish. I wish that Archie and Juggy can become good, better friends.
Mend all the broken wounds.
Yeah, exactly. Mend it up.
Is it fun to be the comic relief on a show that is so dark?
Yes, it is the most fun thing ever. I literally just try to make them laugh every scene I have, so it's so much fun.
The cause of all the bloopers.
Yeah, most of them you see them laughing or ruining the scene, but it's really me.
You have a favorite blooper from the show?
There's one, we have a blooper reel. There's one of me giggling and Lily grabs my arm. She goes, "You need to calm down." And that might be the quintessential favorite one for me, yeah.
Something I love about the show and this cast is you guys are so memeable. Like, it's been a while since I've seen a show that's really taken over the internet like that.
You guys are liking it.
Do you have a favorite meme of you that you've seen on the internet?
I love the ones that just got cranked out about Jughead. It's like sort of this stereotypical artsy white kid. I mean, that to me was, you know, I'd gone to NYU and been in Brooklyn long enough to have seen that myself.
What's your response?
See, I don't look at the memes. Nah, I couldn't give you one. Nah.
I love it. I think it's fun. I mean, you should always be able to meme something. It makes it more interactive too, especially when you use the memes out of like a Riverdale context and you're just using it for other day-to-day things.
Do you have a favorite one you've seen?
I can't think off the top of my head, but it's probably a Lily meme. Probably she made a lot of good best faces, so probably one of those.
Camila said you're probably the most memeable one of the cast. What's your reaction when you see all these things come up online on Twitter?
I mean, I dig it. I love it. And I make my own memes for the show, like on Twitter. I feel so bad because I'm like, I always do live tweeting with the show, but I can't, obviously, tonight. I feel like I let my memers down, but I hope they'll forgive me.
In response to why it's so memeable, this show is inherently over the top. It's and it knows it. I mean, we're playing with the Archie universe, but we're taking it super pseudo deep and serious, right? So we're inherently we're inherently a memeable group because it's entertaining narratives and comical characters taken really seriously. So, yeah.
You give them a good meme face now that they can meme.
Oh, don't do this to me. This is the face, right? I can't do any more memes. If I get any more memes made of me, I'm just going to go to sleep forever.
Everything I do, everything. But you know what? It makes it interesting.
Tell me how you master that Zoom technique, because I feel like I try to do that, it falls on my face.
Yeah, it's years of experience there. So
Years, Instagram. I mean, Zoom hasn't
just get that. You can't just get that. No, I've had an Instagram since I was like.
Well, I mean, the Zoom feature hasn't been around that long.
Yeah, true, but I got an incredible thumb.
Can you give us your reaction for what you found out when you found out who killed Jason Blossom?
Probably, I don't even know. Whoever was sitting next to us was probably like, I get really uncomfortable in awkward situations and I usually giggle or sweat. So I was sweating and then just looking around, probably just keeping my head down. But yeah, that was my reaction.
This is obviously a different take on Archie, but it seems to really have been embraced by fans. Has that surprised you? What's the best feedback you've heard?
Yeah, I think when we first said it was going to be sort of a darker, more subversive Archie, I think people were skeptical. I think people were afraid. I think people were saying, why are you doing this to these characters that we love? But no one loves these characters more than I do. I grew up obsessed with them. I mean, I've been trying to get something like this to happen for years. And, above my computer, I have the phrase, handle with care, because I do love these characters and am very protective of them. So it felt like as long as we were true to the characters, people would get on board with what was happening in the world around them. And that's kind of what it's been. So I think when people see the show, they're like, oh, wait, it is kids and pops and going to the diner and going to the dance and the milkshakes and the iconography, the music, the Josie and the Pussycats, all that stuff.
What's something people might be surprised to know about Riverdale, the show, or maybe your process auditioning or anything?
I mean, my process was crazy. I literally auditioned on a Wednesday, got it that night, flew out the next day, and Friday we had our table read, and Monday we started shooting the pilot. So
Last minute cast?
yeah, I was the last person cast, and truly I called my agent after my audition and was like, there's no way. They liked me. That was the worst audition I've ever had, and then 2 hours later I got it. So.
It's your worst, it's your best.
Yeah, right. The casting directors at Warner Brothers were actually amazing. And they really pushed me to get. They thought I could do it, and they pushed me to get the right thing. And next thing I knew, I was shooting the pilot. So
That it's constantly changing. That we have an idea of where we want to go, and like we had an idea of what season 1 was going to look like. Nope, totally different. It's like it is constantly evolving on set. The day before, we changed our finale literally last minute. It's constantly evolving. So like we're just as surprised as everyone else usually.
Keeps you on your toes.
It does, but in a good way.
Some great lines on the show, so I thought we'd play a little Who Said That.
Okay.
Give you a few lines, see if you can guess what character.
okay.
Who said my claustrophobia acts up in small houses?
Probably Cheryl.
Good job. Who said no cruising guys tonight? We both know what goes on in the world.
Papa Keller. Episode 4. Never forget shooting that scene.
It's one of my favorites. Who says whatever you decide, be confident enough in that you don't have to lie?
Fred Andrews. Is that right?
Really good at this. He's also like the voice of reason on the show, so.
He's pretty much the nicest dude ever.
Who said your dad answers to a higher authority than God, the Blossoms?
Cole. Jughead.
I feel like you have a career in this game. You know everybody.
Remember everything. I listened during the table reads. Let it be known. Let it be known.